All right, everybody, we are here for the Zoom reunion for season 2 of the NMB Celebrity Survivor Challenge. We have a handful of our contestants here. We might have some more pop on. I know some people couldn't make it tonight, so we are going to catch up with those that were able to join. First of all, again, thank you all for those who aren't here, for those who are here. Thank you so much for all of your hard work and fundraising and competing this year, or last year, I guess now season 2. It was a blast. It was very successful, and the kids had a blast. I know most of you guys in here were able to come to camp this year, and I know y'all got to experience how cool that was. um I'd like to also say a special thank you to Angela. She was our fundraising champion this year, so great job.
Good
Congratulations.
job.
Yeah.
um Couple other things before we start doing some questions. We are going to have camp again this year in August. I'm not going to release the dates yet, but camp registration will come out next week. So be on the lookout if you guys want to share, or anybody that wants to sign up. It is for now going to be the last year of camp. I'm going off to school, and I know it's very sad, but I'm probably moving at least like 6 hours away. So I want to be able to focus on school for a couple of years and eventually, hopefully, come back to it if, everything allows that. But again, registration will go out. It's the 4th year of camp, and it'll be back at the FFA Center this year. Um, and for the most of you guys know, but for those who don't know and the viewers that are watching, because y'all did such an amazing job with fundraising this year, we actually had enough money to do camp again this year, just based off what y'all raised from season 2, which means we aren't going to do a third celebrity challenge. And I know that's like a big surprise. I know, especially to Ryan, because you were really talking about that. But everybody's got to remember that the celebrity challenge is for the camp. And because y'all did such an amazing job, that's why we are able to use that money left over to do camp again. So great job, and kudos to you guys for making that able to happen. But I know we all love the celebrity challenge. And, I've talked to some people, maybe in the future we can bring it back as its own little thing just for fun. So let's talk about the fan favorite. Y'all really marketed it for yourselves this year, for a lot of you guys. There were over 200 votes cast, which is a lot more than last season. So I'm going to reveal the top 4. In 4th place with 8.7% of the votes, we had Leah. So congratulations, Leah.
Thank you.
In 3rd place with 10.1% of the votes is Nicole, who was not on tonight.
Yay.
In 2nd place with 22.1% of the votes, we had Wayne, who I might pop on here at some point. And with 36.5% of the votes, this year's fan favorite goes to Ryan. So congratulations, Ryan.
Yay!
No, thank you.
Yes.
Congrats.
That's awesome.
Job hustling for votes, so I appreciate that.
Congrats, Ryan.
At some point, Ryan, me and you will have to get up so I can take a picture and give you your trophy and stuff. I'm going to dive right in. Since Meredith wasn't here, we kind of wrote these questions together. So I'm going to ask those who are here a couple of questions. So we'll go from our sole survivor all the way down to the pre-merge. So we'll start off with Derek. So after watching the episodes in full, how did you feel about your win? Did you feel it was deserving, or were you surprised you ended up pulling it out?
Oh, absolutely deserving. But excuse me, I didn't know I was getting on the spot here. But no, I mean, like I said in my exit interview, I thought I was going home first thing, but getting there and getting our hands dirty and playing the matches and doing all the things that we did. No, I think it was well deserved. I mean, definitely we started off high, and then I mean, boom, I was right back on the bottom and just had to fight my way back up top. Were there other people who were deserving of winning as well? Yes. But I ended up taking the lead, so it was a great time.
Awesome. So how'd you, when you got letting in Crystal really quick, but Crystal, can you hear us? Maybe. We'll see in a second. Can you hear us, Crystal?
It's still
Yes. Hey, everyone.
Hey.
All right, so I'm in the question portion now, so I'm actually going to ask you a question in just a moment. But Derek, I had one more follow-up question. When we got into the merge and it was 3 green and 3 pink, so like final 7, had you chosen to go with the pink side instead of the green tribe as their 4th vote, how do you think the game would have changed and shaken up a little bit?
Oh, I think it would have changed a lot. And I mean, it really could have. It really just came down to who just won, won that challenge. And if they would have won, I'd have hopped on that bandwagon right there. And then, of course, we'd have probably gotten Leah out first. I mean, we knew that she was running it. So she'd have been gone, gone, gone. And then we'd have just picked them off one by one without a doubt.
Okay.
And with Angela being, she's a strong leader and she was strategic, she would have known she'd have known how to get her out and get everybody else out. So I believe it all can. That's what I ended up told somebody. I was like, if the challenges fall on our end, I was like, boom, we'll jump ship. We'll get them out. But it just never happened. So I had to stick where I was at.
Okay. So I'm going to go to Leah now. Did you ever think that you were perceived as a physical threat with your multiple immunity wins, or did you think that really didn't play a huge factor?
Definitely. I thought I was perceived as, competition. And I just went out there with the goal of, just give it your all, do your best. And I wanted to try to just be myself and not have to be quiet or do any less than I could, and just see how far it got me. And I had fun, and it was great, and I did well. And I just, of course, didn't pull through on the one that I really, really needed. But hey, that's okay. That's a game.
Yeah. So had you won the final 3 immunity challenge, who would you have taken to the end, and how do you think the outcome would have changed?
Oh, Derek was gone. That was planned for, like, that was it. And it would have been a 3, like, I was just so all and we just locked and rocked it. And I know that, like, if anyone else was in their other situations with their original tribes, they would have loved to have gone the whole way with their original people too. And that was just a really awesome privilege that we had. So
I would have killed him in the fire challenge, so trust me.
Yeah, you would have. Clearly.
So one last thing, did you apply to Survivor, Leah? Do you have an update for us? Anything?
No update. I've applied, but I'm gonna reapply again because I heard, a rumor they swipe them out every new season. I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm gonna just keep on shooting. And I know people have applied 8, 10, 15 times. So I'm just gonna keep throwing out there. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Absolutely. All right. So Crystal, so how did it finally feel to get a second chance at Survivor after 15 years?
I mean, it felt good. I felt like, I had a chance to redeem myself, but man, 15 years, my bones are old. Sleeping out on the ground. I mean, like she said, misery. It was miserable.
So Crystal, you played I feel like this might just be me, but I feel like you played a kind of a similar game to how you played in Survivor Gabon. Was there anything you wish you would have done differently?
The first go round, yes. I was way more outspoken. Tribal councils were 2 hours long, and Jeff was basically probing us for questions, and I was a drama queen. And this one, I toned it down a lot. Not saying I was on the edge like Johnny Fairplay. I mean, he's just a character in himself, but my strategy was just a little bit different this time.
Okay. And so I will say in our 2 seasons, you were the only tribe captain to reach the finale. The next highest was Sandra, who took 6th place. So how does it feel to be, of the 5, the only person to reach the end?
Oh, I mean, my motto is all I do is win. So, hey, I like to set the bar high, and hey, come after me. So it's all good.
Okay. All right. So Ryan, so do you feel that you played a more individual game than what others might think?
Yes and no. So it definitely, watching it back, I didn't realize how much of an introvert that I was. I usually thought that I was a little more outgoing, but I definitely think like the time constraints of it, I was definitely a little more sheltered. But at least individually, like I knew like I had my group and that my goal was to make sure that we were safe each week. But then on the other side of it, I knew I had two shields with me the whole time. So like I made it through merge without my name ever being written down. So like there was a little bit of an individual component, but I definitely would say I was in like the group mindset of like it's us three, let's get it to the end.
Okay. Now, I created this question for Gabby last year. And for those who watched season one, Gabby was our youngest player by far last year. And a lot of the cast was younger last year. But this season, I had a lot, there were most of the cast were middle-aged people. Only a couple were a little older and only a couple were a little younger. So do you think being like the youngest person in the game, even though you're not that young, could have affected your style of gameplay a little bit, or do you feel like it was not a factor at all?
I will say a little bit just because, like, being the youngest one in the room, I definitely was looking to the others for their wisdom and their kind of guidance on certain things because, like, they were more established and better at building those connections and relationships. But I would say being younger also is a bit of an advantage because I'm more willing to try something different or, stuff like that. So I don't think it was a disadvantage. I think everyone in the cast was super gracious and kind and never made me feel like the kid of the group. So I really appreciated that.
I like it. So let's flip over to Angela. Angela, so you claimed, and I think you did, but you claimed to keep all of your morals and ethics in check while you were in the game. Do you not necessarily regret doing that, but would you have maybe done something different that could have advanced you a little farther if you did a little bit more, strategic or flipping sides, or you would have played the same game?
I think if I had spoken with Derek, I think Derek would have, when I had that opportunity, I think he probably would have leaned toward us because when I think about it, we could have really shaken things up. And if I had told him that, I think he would have done it just to shake things up. But at that time, I knew I was the target, so I panicked and didn't really think I could do anything. So no, I don't think I would have done anything different as far as, backstabbing anybody or telling someone that I was going to do something that I knew in my mind that I wasn't going to do, other than possibly when Derek disappeared, I probably should have gone and find him that night.
Okay. And so one more question. After being so hesitant to play, completely declining season one for me, and very hardcore not wanting to do season two, are you glad you ended up doing it?
Absolutely. I don't regret anything. And, as far as the fundraising, I thank everyone for supporting me and being excited to help me with that for the camp. But I knew going in, I would need some help to stay in the game. I really felt like, but then, when I look back on it, I think that kind of put a target on my back to everyone knowing that I did such, big fundraisers. They knew that I probably had those advantages. So I felt like I went in with the target on my back.
Yeah. All right. So Mariah, so you didn't get much of a chance to play in your actual season of Survivor. Did you feel like you used your second chance to the fullest?
Yeah, yes, I think I wanted to play my game, but no matter how early I got out or how I wanted to make my own decisions and then stand with those, whatever the outcome was. That was just my mind state at the time. So yeah, I don't know that that's what I would do today, because there's a little bit of swinging from a pendulum. You kind of felt like, in the first I had no control. We have these 3 tribes and it's 6 people to I'm going to take complete control and I'm not really going to hear anything else. I'm just going to have an agenda. and just do that. And I really think there's a balance in there. So
Yeah. So what was the most excited part about getting back out there and playing? Exciting part.
getting to play. Actually getting to play. I mean, I love the challenges. And I was 49. There's just age. I mean, we like you said, we have a number of middle-aged players. I just wanting to know what I could do. I think I thought that I could do certain things, but I didn't know. And just testing yourself, just seeing where you are. I mean, I just love competing. So I had a blast.
Awesome. So last question, what made you change your, sorry, I had three for you. What made you change up your game so dramatically different? I mean, it could night and day. What made you want to change it up so much?
You mean from Survivor to this?
Well, that and every round in our game, it feel like it changed. What made you?
Answer that. I came in with a plan. I entered with a plan and I stuck to that plan. So I think it felt that way. One of the things that I said in the exit interview was just the whole work, being allowed to work with people and make connections. I mean, that was really uncomfortable. I didn't do that. Probably the next vote, had I not been voted out, would have been when I would have veered a little bit. I think I wasn't really sure. Angela, we never had it. We just never talked. And I'm like, I'm aligned with her, but I don't know what she's doing. And I don't even know. No, I did know what advantages you had to some degree. But I just felt so much in the dark. I felt like I didn't have the control that I wanted. So that would have probably been the time when I might have changed things up a little. But yeah.
Perfect. So Laura, after, in 2 seasons, well, I should say it's only 2. So the first season, I mean, we didn't really have a lot of issues medically going on at all. But season 2, we had, after you almost had to leave the game, I didn't know if you were going to quit, if we had to medevac you or what was going to happen, but due to your sickness, are you glad you ended up staying? Do you think the auction helped a little bit with that food in your system?
The auction did not help. I think it was worse. Yeah, I'm glad I stayed. Because just I'd been looking forward to it for so long. We had like so many months that were leading up to it, and I didn't want to leave. It was just kind of like crossing my mind, I guess. But I'm definitely glad I stayed though.
Awesome. And I mean, you won the first community challenge of the season. Did you think this was really important to you in that part of the game? And, that was night 1. A lot of people, I mean, you can see it's dark out, but, the first merge round was at night. So you had that to get you through the next day. You were the most shocking person to me that won that immunity based on how you were feeling. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, it was also very shocking to me. But yeah, it was awesome. It kind of just gave like a little bit of a boost, like mentally, like, you can do it, like just keep going, just fight through it. And that really did help.
Awesome. All right. So Victoria, the interesting thing about the Grove tribe and how it was pre-merge is because the pink tribe was such a hot mess, and because the green tribe was interesting, and not that y'all weren't interesting, but green tribe also went to tribal twice. The yellow tribe in those first couple episodes didn't get as much screen time, so you were the only person to be eliminated in the pre-merge from your tribe, so you didn't get a whole lot of screen time. But do you
No.
what did we not get to see about you that happened while you were out there?
I don't know. I mean, I think just not just me individually, but just our group and how collective, how we all were just, there was nothing negative. It was all like good vibes and just almost just like hanging out with friends. And it almost was like we weren't in this challenge. Like it was not stressful. So I think the only thing you didn't see is just how well we got along. And I think that's it. I think maybe they'd missed me, obviously, be kind of scheming, trying to make an alliance because I was, terrified that we were going to lose a challenge, and then there is literally no time to talk to anybody. So I thought from the beginning, I've got to like try for something, try to get something in line before we have to go to tribal. So I think that's the only thing they didn't see, is just like kind of my strategizing there, which, was my downfall.
So give us a life update. You have produced our first Survivor baby.
Yeah, right after the challenge, I found out I was pregnant. So yeah, I have a 3-week-old. So yeah, life is great. I'm glad I got to do the challenge. So timing worked out perfect. Yeah, have a little 3-week-old Owen.
Love it. So that is all of the questions I had for those who did make it. Couple of little mentions to the people who didn't make it. James's new wife is pregnant, so we'll have a second little Survivor baby on the way. Let's see what else I have. Josh, I want to say a special thank you to Josh, because not only did he save us from playing the game day one, he took over our editing for episode 2, and I think he did an amazing job, and it got better and better each episode. So a special thank you to Josh for saving us twice. And to everybody, I'm so happy we finally got here almost a year later. I didn't know if we would ever be here, but I'm so happy that we got to catch up. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to add? Little life update, anything? Anybody's welcome to unmute and talk. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey!
Yay! So exciting.
Yeah. First Survivor marriage, 2 children. I don't know what.
I don't know if you're just talking about life updates, but I mean, your last question to Victoria and our tribe, like, if Victoria was badass, if she would have lasted longer in the game, things would have been different. And I mean, Derek,
I agree.
I was in the canoe in the kite, whatever it was. I was in that boat with her, and you're a tough cookie. So
She'd have played a hard game.
I wanted to.
Yeah, it'd have been tough if you'd have got by. It'd have been tough. I'm telling you,
Well,
you'd have been a game changer.
Yeah, I have a question. So since I didn't make merge, I've been wondering why, like, Laura was sick, so why not pull her along? And why didn't you guys go after Derek? Like, why didn't you do James Derek? Just wondering.
Good question.
Honestly, I think we thought Laura was going to take the competitions because she started feeling better, and then she won the first competition when she was so sick. So yeah, Crystal and Ryan and I were like, oh, she's coming out of the gates. Like, if she won this and she feels terrible, we're in so much trouble. So we were worried, and she was so social. That makes sense. And Derek was a little quieter, and he hadn't won anything yet. So we're like, all right, let's go that way.
So was that strategy, Derek?
Yeah, I purposely didn't win on purpose. Yeah.
Just a minute.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Favorite Ryan, congratulations. But if they don't have you slept that night, no one else did, you would not have won that. You're snoring, Dago, just the only one who slept.
I slept like a baby. I don't know how.
Ah, you did.
I slept so well.
I think
he comes out stretching like, everyone's been up talking for hours, and he's just like, what I miss?
I was like, did I miss a challenge? Like
the non-sleeping challenge, you missed it. I think we need to put on the book, Shaw, that no one slept more than 20 minutes, except for Ryan, who slept 8 to 10 hours, snoring so loud in the tent alone that we were all up and ready to throw rocks at him because he was.
Should have. I did not realize I'm a snorer, so I'm a little.
Oh, you are. You definitely are.
I didn't even realize, because in season 1 the campsites were all grass and a lot of pine straws. So it was probably a little more comfier. But I just thought y'all's merge camp was so beautiful, especially the sunrise and stuff. But I should have taken in consideration.
We all saw it. All saw it.
I thought I should have thought about the sand and the rocks. But I'm sure y'all all had a couple of great nights of sleep after y'all got back home. I think I told some of you, I'm like, you might want to take Monday off because that was one of the suggestions last year was people to take Monday off.
And that's what I'm thankful for not having to sleep on the ground. That, I mean, I missed that fantastic part of the show.
You could put enough people around a fireplace. I can promise you that. We were in there.
Well, one of the other things that you missed, Shaw, was the fire started falling out and almost fell on Mariah's head.
Oh,
And
geez.
so we woke up screaming, Mariah, get out, watch out, because her hair was almost on fire. And then we're all still trying to sleep and no one's sleeping, but you're sitting here trying for like 6 hours. And then out of nowhere, Angela shoots up and screams, Misery!
Misery!
And she was just done. And all of us were dying laughing. We were so delirious. And that was, I think, our kind of quote after that night, which is misery from Sweet Angela.
I know day 2, I mean, it got to the point y'all didn't even go back to your camps. I'm like, these people are exhausted. I was like trying to speed it up as much as possible, but it worked out. Everybody had fun, I think. So anyways, yeah, so again, a special thank you to everybody for your hard work, and a special thank you to everybody who made it out to camp. You know, season 1, unfortunately, not a bad thing to them, but none of them got to experience what all their hard work was with camp. So a lot of you were able to make it, and I'm so excited that y'all got to see that, or even if it was before helping set up and getting to see what it looked like. So yeah, so please do be on the lookout for that next week. It'll be in August again at the FFA Center. Registration will go out next week. I just wanted to finish all this up so it didn't fall through the cracks of anything. So yeah, that's all I have. Did everybody get to see Johnny Fairplay's shirt? Meredith really wanted to make sure y'all saw that on Messenger. He sent a special little shirt to Meredith to show y'all.
Mm.
Oh, I didn't see.
I'll check it afterwards.
Yeah.
That's great. I just saw it.
Definitely check it out. But yes,
Shaw,
yes.
thanks to you too for all your hard work, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors. We know that you're going to do big things in life, and I can't wait to experience it here in North Myrtle Beach.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I should also say a special thank you to the production team. I mean, they worked their butts off the entire time. Especially Meredith, my partner in crime for this, and everybody else. Josh edited a really awesome volunteer reel. If anybody saw that at the end of the finale, it was super cool. So, you know, a lot of hard work went into this. I mean, it is 2 jam-packed days, and Mariah and Crystal know they saw us running around, but we tried to shoo them off and let them do their own thing on that Friday. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. But anyways, I think that's it. Anybody have anything else before I close it out? Okay.
It's been fun, y'all.
Good to see everybody.
Thank you for the amazing experience. It was so good to get to know
Yes,
y'all.
thank you, Shaw.
I'm going to miss the group chat, so please all stay in touch. We've had to talk every day for almost a year. So without further ado, thank you again. This will go up right after we get off the call. So feel free to share, but I'm sure we will all cross paths again at some point, but definitely be on the lookout for camp. But thank you guys. Y'all have a great night and a great weekend.
All right. Bye,
All right.
everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.